Alright folks, so today's Saturday morning. It's about 9 o'clock now, and I'm on my way back to that arcade warehouse place. I did chat with the owner, and he still has a few machines there, but there's been no takers for them, which is fine, really, but there will be at some point. But he asked me if I would be able to see if I can get them running. So I'm going over there to spend the day, see if I can get a few of these driver machines working, and I think the House of the Dead cab and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully the motherboards work, because so far they've all worked. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few running. Maybe I'll get a few bits out of it, and should be a cool fun day anyway. So I'm going to see if I can film any of it or just record some extra footage. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to record or what this video will be about, but could be cool. Anyway, let's get there first. Alright, so I've been working for a couple of hours now on this House of the Dead. I got it to work. Actually, I'll power it on. I got it to work, but it's showing weird picture. This has some dirt as well, and the sound, and so the picture is kind of working, but it's very red. So I'd say the color ramps are kind of fried, and I tried adjusting all the colors individually. You can see the retrace lines here showing every now and then, so it probably just needs a recap. But I mean, the high voltage is working. I'd say it's just a recap really for now. So I'm not sure if he wants to do that or if I'll take the chassis and try that, but at least it's working. So I'm just going to try. There's another system 2 board, or is it a system 1? Can't remember. I think it's system 2 or system 3, can't remember. But there's a Jurassic Park here. It's the same system. So I'm going to swap the boards, see if that color issue is coming from the graphic card, which is possible as well, or if it's coming from the monitor, which would be better news. Alright, not much luck on the color, but I think the monitor just needs a recap. Now, it's not something I can do from here. However, I got one of the gun working. Inside the cab was this sensor board, so I'm guessing this was a replacement ordered somewhere, somehow. But so I fitted the Play 1 gun with the new sensor board, and the gun is working fine. The game is actually very playable now. Just the monitor isn't really cooperating that well color wise, but other than that, I mean, it's just fine. It just needs a recap, I think. So I'm going to leave it at that for this. The 2-player button wasn't working either, so I just changed the switch on it, and it's working fine now. It needs a new sensor board, full recap on the monitor, new tube here on the marquee, but other than that, yeah, all working. So next I have this Konami Silent Scope cash prize thing. There's no monitor, so I'll have to find one, but I might just power this giant Time Crisis 2. There's a Time Crisis here, and there's a Point Blank over there as well, so that might be my next move. Actually, I'm gonna just quickly see if this powers on. Alright folks, so next day, I spent the whole day there. I arrived there at about 10, and I think at around, was it 3 in the afternoon? Forgot to eat, usually do, but at around 3 in the afternoon, the owner said he had to go because he's actually flying to England the next day. So he left me the keys, how to close the place, how to re-engage the alarms and that kind of stuff. But he actually left me the keys, which was super cool. And so I got the House of the Dead running. The monitor just needs a recap. So I actually took the chassis, and I'll do that at some point. And then, so hopefully we'll get that running. The second gun does need a new sensor board. I took the sensor board there as well. Let's see if I can just fix it. Maybe there's a simple fix. Just need to replace the actual little LED thing, optical thing. Maybe recap. There's 2 small caps on there, and then and then I tried to get the Time Crisis running, and it ran for a while before the motherboard kind of went. It seems the thing just shut down. It wasn't the monitors, because there was still a buzz in the monitor, and so I don't know what's there. I did find, so those dual cabs have two motherboards, it seems. So I found a second motherboard upstairs, so I don't know why it's upstairs, probably because it failed as well. But we'll see next time. And then there was a Multicade thing, and the Namco Point Blank, and those two, the monitors at least are in high voltage shutdown, so these will need to be fixed and recapped as well. So for now, I think I'm just going to focus on getting that House of the Dead working for the next time I go there, and then I'll move on. That Namco one is going to be a big one, so I'll keep that Time Crisis one is going to be a big one, so I'll see if I can get the Multicade and the Point Blank, Namco Point Blank running. There's also a lot of these Konami shooters, but they need monitors in there, and I couldn't find the right monitor. I'm not sure, so I'll have to get the manual. And also all the Sega sit-down drivers, so there's 2 Scud Race and Le Mans, and there's a few Konami drivers as well. So I might just move on afterwards, because I'm in the Sega world right now. Board wise, I might move on to the Scud Race afterwards, get those running, maybe the Le Mans move downstairs, and etc, etc. So we'll see. But after when Yaman was there, and he said, you know, for my time in all life, I wanted to get paid, and said, no, I don't, you know, I'm happy to tinker with his machines, and I'll be glad he sorted me out with parts and bits before. I was glad to help him, you know, get them running again. And because I'd be going back there, he sort of said, look, it took whatever you need upstairs, because he doesn't run this type of business anymore. Like, he just wanted the machines to run properly, maybe sell them or move them back on some locations, but he just wanted them to run and move them out there, and you know, that's his plan. And all those monitors, all those other boards and all that, he doesn't need them anymore. That's not his business. So he told me I could take, well, pretty much, you know, what I wanted. So I'll show you what I got. What I ended up doing is I looked for monitor chassis, and I didn't take that many tubes, a lot of chassis. I took the chassis that were broken. Like, there was a lot of tubes that the neck was broken and all that, so the chassis was just orphan chassis. So I took those, and I left the ones that were kind of full, intact. I have a feeling it doesn't need them anymore, but I didn't want to scavenge too much either. Let me flip this camera and show you what I got. Yeah, I got a lot of chassis. I took a few tubes. I took one of those, I'm not sure, is it a nano type chassis? I'm not sure exactly what it is. But I took this tube and monitor, and I'll see if I can fix that and bring it back into the cab. I have a spare chassis for that because the tube was broken. In fact, that's what I ended up doing, taking stuff that either didn't have a tube or where the tube was broken. There was a few frames as well, so I ended up with, I don't know, 20 chassis altogether. A lot of these Antarex Polo 3 for 14-inch monitors. It's mostly 14-inch and 9-inch. I didn't have any 20-inch there. I didn't see that many, but I saw he had a lot of these big tubes, but they are to go in some machines, I think. I found the spare Sanwa chassis. That's the same stuff that is in the Naomi cabs. In fact, I found a lot of Naomi stuff, but he said he doesn't have any more cabs, so that probably came from a parted cab or store there, because I didn't see a tube for it. So there you go. I have more here of just the tube. It looked clean, so I took that. Again, he doesn't need them, he said. And if the machines, if he wants to put machines back on location, which is rare now these days, but he says he just gets LCDs anyway. There was another one of these tubes. Took this tube here because it didn't have burn either, and this guy doesn't have any burn as well. But yeah, that's to get fixed. So there you go. And also there was a few Naomi motherboards over there, and I found some Naomi parts. So I'd say there was a cab that got parted and just dumped, probably. You see here this chassis, the tube socket is still in there, and the gun is still there. I have a few like that. I took a couple that had just broken neck board as well, for spare parts. So I don't think he's missing out on anything. But I told him, I said I took a good few of the discarded broken stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to revive them and get them running. So yeah, so there was this guy on its own, and he said he used to have a cab, and he doesn't know what happened to the cab, but this was left on its own. This is is it a System 3 or System 2? I can't remember, but this is a Sega Jurassic Park Lost World. I don't know if it's running, but it was there. Doesn't need it. Oh, connectors got busted. That's the problem with these. And then all these Naomi carts, so more of that club cart stuff, which well, if the motherboard is running, maybe I can swap the cart for somebody who wants that. It won't run unless you have the kind of prize, whatever it is called, the hopper, for prize. Another prize game was Kick for Cash, where just shoot penalties on a soccer game, and you could get some, cash rewards. Yeah, boards, sound board, the low pass filter board on the Naomi. So I'd say this was for a driver game, probably that club cart one. There's probably more, because this guy was set to 2 players. I did get to test them. So the carts won't run, but the motherboards are all working. Test them over there. There's a sound amp again for Naomi. There was a couple more boards. This is the I/O board for Naomi, and this net dim here. Is it a dim or a net dim? I'm not sure exactly. I'll have to look it up. I don't know the difference between the two. I know the net dim you can actually just plug into a PC or Raspberry Pi type of setup and just run the ROMs off that, so you can have pretty much all the Naomi games in one setup. So there you go. Anyway, working motherboards, that and that. I'll probably see if somebody has any interest in those. I don't want to sell them. I want to just swap them for something else. If somebody has a game I don't have, which is quite a lot stuff, or even parts, more of these amp boards and kind of stuff. Ultimately, I'd like to convert the universal cab I have into another driver cab. I think that's where now Naomi shines. Those cabs, that's where they are much better suited, is for some of those driver, like a Route 66 or what's that other big truck driver one, I forget, 18 wheeler or something like that. Anyway folks, this is what I got out of this loot. I'm gonna move this into the shed and start working on these chassis. There you go. This was a kind of a short, I'll post regularly whenever I go back there, and I'll show what I get out of there. I know he just does want to clear the place ultimately, and turn it to offices for his business, which is a lot of LCD displays for shows and companies and things like that. So he needs the space, and he wants to clear out a lot of the stuff. And I'm helping him get some of those machines back running, so he can probably sell them. Anyway folks, there you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget Instagram, all that kind of stuff, Patreon if you want to support the channel, or there's a YouTube membership, and I'll see you next time.